gonna be fun. We're just gonna be like casual.
Oh my god, thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Welcome, guys, to Single on the Rocks, where I am your host, Locastillo, where we talk all things single, dating, sex, relationships, and everything in between. And I have a really special guest with me today, Emily. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Hey, friend.
Thank you for
Hey, my little chicken.
Thank you for coming
Oh
and
my god,
being
thank you so much for
here.
having me. I'm honored and I'm flattered.
Oh, yes, I'm so honored. I'm so honored to have you here.
Thank you so much.
This has been such a journey, and I was so like nervous on just fucking up. But you know what?
You gotta mess up.
Yeah, you have
it's part
to.
of the process.
You have to.
You know,
Because, like, okay, just for context out there, you know, I announced that I was doing this podcast, and I didn't really. When you think something so simple is gonna be like, just hook a mic up, and it can kind of be like that. But when you are trying to like really put like a production together,
yeah,
it is so much work and so much information. So I give props to anybody who has a podcast, whether it be small, big, whatever. I mean, this shit isn't super huge, but like, it's a lot.
girl, it may not be huge, but it's yours, and that's all that matters.
know,
Like,
that's
you're
right.
doing it. You said you were gonna
that's
do it, and you did it.
I
Because
know
now
that's
we're
right.
here. Exactly.
Yeah, I know
Period.
that's right. But I'm so excited for you to be here. I have some really exciting questions, but ultimately, like, I want this experience to just be like a girl talk. Like,
Period.
you know, and just we're here for a good time, not a long time.
Girl, don't we know it?
For a little bit of backstory, how I know Emily. I don't know. Maybe you wanna.
Okay, guys. So we met at Fitness Connection, which, by the way, we don't go anymore. At least I don't. I stopped going like a year ago.
I go sometimes.
So embarrassing. She do be going to the gym. She's fit. Like I said, I would hit. She looks so good. We're like in the sauna, and like going to the gym by myself. Like I just can't do it. Like, I don't think I started going to the gym consistently till I started hanging out with Lauren, which shouts out to her. Because I know I was probably always like, so what are we doing? Like, just standing around looking dumb. But she had the bombest pair of tights ever. And I was like, damn, I wonder if it's like her ass that makes her look like that. Or it was like the tights that make her look like that. So I had to stop her and be like, hey, friend, from girl to girl, like, where did you get your tights from? And she was like, you want the link, honey? I got it. And she sent that hoe to me. And I was like, I'll fucks with her.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've been like, let's go to the gym. And then we just started hanging out. And it's like, it's been the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. No, it's funny because like when you go to the gym, and I remember telling you this, I was like, I have been trying to make a friend for the longest time.
You did tell me that.
And, some girls are just not nice.
They're not.
Some girls are just not nice. And when Emily asked me and approached me in the sauna, she was like, hey girl, like, where'd you get those? I was like, oh my god, do you want to be my friend? Like, such a weird out my head. I was like, oh my god, am I making a friend after I don't know how many years?
Because they be like, if you've gone to the gym, if you're an avid gym goer and like you do your own thing, props to you, because you know you going to put your work in. But sometimes like people like me, like I can't do things by myself.
Yeah.
And I just like doing it with other people because I feel more encouraged to. I feel like I'm held accountable to it. And it really is so hard to try and make friends, like gym friends. I think part of the reason is like some people really just going to put in the work. And others like they're not as like strict about it.
Yeah, they're just there to go.
Yeah. But it can be really embarrassing being like, hey, and they're like,
yeah, I know. I've had this happen to me. I had that happen to me quite a bit where I was just like wanting to have a partner to like motivate each other and stuff like that. And I remember I went up to this one girl and I was like, your hair is so long and pretty. And she was like, thanks. And I was like,
okay. At your grown ass age, you don't have to, you should not be acting like that.
I was like, okay, let me go back into my bubble and mind my fucking business because none of these bitches want to be my friend, and that's fine. But
they're probably threatened by your beauty because
I mean,
you're not your
I just was trying to have a friend.
Like, exactly. Like, what's so hard about that, you know?
And but there's also an age gap between us.
Yes.
And
But
it's
you couldn't tell because she acts
no.
so young, bro. Like, she looks young, she acts young. She got that, like, she keeps up with the moves. Like, when you talk to her, it doesn't feel like I'm talking to somebody significantly older than me. You know what I'm
Isn't
saying?
that crazy?
Girl, because you had like kids really young, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the boys are Adrian turned 20 and Aiden turned 19 this month.
Her boys are grown.
Yeah, super, super grown. So, but now mama gets to live her life and
Period. Yeah.
okay. So I know
Yes.
we've had these discussions before.
Mhm.
You'll come and tell me like what the deal is,
Mhm.
but have dating apps helped or hurt your perception of relationships?
I think definitely a little bit of both. Maybe more harm than good
Mm-hmm.
because I think it really just opens up your eyes to see like how many people really don't know what they're looking for, including myself. Like you
Yeah.
put yourself out into these apps to look for someone, but once you get the ball rolling, you're really like, "Oh, what do I want? Do I want this?"
Mm-hmm.
And then people just like to lie. People are just liars. Like they're always lying to you
Do
for no
you
reason.
do you think that you feel like they're lying because they want to present a persona, like they want to be almost like a facade?
Mm, that's a really good question. I've never thought about it like that. In my personal experience, I feel like it's just because they can, or because they know that if they tell you the truth, they're not gonna get exactly what they want out of you. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's like a power play, you know?
Do you think that do you think that like dating apps is almost like playing Sims? You get to
Yes,
reinvent yourself
a hundred percent.
or be your certain self to a certain extent,
Mhm.
right? But some people go on the intentions of like looking for love and
Mhm.
looking for that forever someone.
Yeah. And I think that's fine. Like if you're trying to revamp yourself, that's totally completely okay. But the one thing is to elevate your personality, your looks or whatever, and another is to completely be somebody who you're not. Because at the end of the day, like throughout time, your facade's gonna come down. You can't keep a facade up for too long before you get caught up in it, you know,
Yeah,
because if you don't believe it, nobody else is gonna believe it.
right.
So
Yeah.
but I think the people who do that, they're just setting themselves up for failure because I mean unless the person is really dumb or they just
Almost like catfish,
yeah,
right?
yeah, like
They're
they're
like
catfishing you.
and then like they end up really liking you and they don't know how to like come clean with it.
And I think the craziest and the scariest part is like whenever they really like are able to take it to a level where it becomes something serious and then like once they got you and they know they got you, they drop it and they do a 180 and you're like, well, who is this person?
Hmm.
And I don't know. It almost
Dating
makes
apps
you
are
feel like
scary.
it almost literally makes you feel like they gaslit you or you're going crazy because you're like, I swear to God, like if I would have known, like I didn't see this, why didn't
Hmm.
I see it? You know what I'm saying?
Like the red flags and stuff. But
Yeah.
you know what? I feel like sometimes when a man or whoever you're talking to has like a really good mouthpiece, I feel like sometimes if they catch you in the right vulnerable state,
Hmm.
oh man, it's dangerous.
It is so
It's
dangerous.
so dangerous.
It's
It's like,
because
oh my God,
they know
he.
what to play into, you know, they know what
Yes.
you like, and that's a double-edged sword. Like they know how to use it against you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that
no,
sucks.
agreed, agreed.
What do you
Ooh,
think?
I
Like
mean,
in your personal opinion, do you think
well, when I was on the dating apps, it was scary. Like I feel like, I feel like a lot of the people or the guys that I talked to or had conversations with were just almost just like on there to kill time
right? It's almost
and
like they're just looking, they're
like they're
bored.
bored.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I was really transparent on my Hinge profile,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought I was really funny. I mean, I curated my profile so good. I thought, it was like so funny. But I felt like I was really transparent because there's a part on the in the profile where you can put like what you're looking
Yeah,
for,
yeah, yeah.
right? And I put just like I think there's an option like almost like you're just testing the waters or something
Oh,
like that
gotcha.
or
Uh-huh.
just seeing, you know,
Like you're just testing.
yeah,
exactly
like,
that. Like
I'm dipping my toe into it or whatever. So, or I'm not sure what I'm looking for. So I
exactly.
was really transparent because I wanted to just see, after coming out of after my marriage and everything, I wanted to just see what it was like again. Like, what am I preparing myself
And like,
for?
what would you do? You think dating back then and dating
So
now
different.
so different?
So different. I felt like dating back then was just I mean, it was still trash, but at the same
Do you
time,
feel like it was more organic? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like now, instead of
yes,
having meaningful
a little bit, yeah.
conversation, they really just be like, "Damn, ma, you fine as fuck." Like,
Well,
what am I
yeah,
supposed to
but,
do with
well,
that?
because back then for me, you know, we had social media was just like barely starting,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and like I was like a teenager before like cell phones came out and stuff like
Damn,
that,
that's
and I
crazy.
had the very first Nokia cell phone that ever came
Oh my
out. Yeah,
god.
and I'm just totally aging myself, but you know what I mean, and so it was like having to grow up with this new era of technology that was going to shape us on what I think it was making us more what's that word, shallow in a way, because
Okay.
we're like, we meet somebody and we experience their personality. Now it's like we see them and we judge them by the book,
True, true, true,
the cover
true.
of the book,
Yeah.
instead of like seeing what their personality is, right? But you can also kind of see their personality like on their socials and stuff like that. You can kind of see it,
I guess it's just not the
ultimately,
same.
like you really don't know who that person is because they could be putting on a persona, a facade
Exactly.
for everybody to think they're so happy or so this or so that. So you really don't know until you actually meet them.
Yeah.
Because I talked to a guy who was, you know, he was like, I thought we had great conversation. And then when we met in person, I was like, who are you?
You.
I was like, all of a
Okay,
sudden there's no
yes. I feel
conversation.
like some people don't know it, back to the facade thing, right? They don't know how to translate that paper onto person.
Yeah.
And so when that's whenever the facade is lost
Yeah.
or it comes down because you're like, oh, this is
Well,
not the same
yeah, you
person I
start
was
kind of
texting.
seeing them for who they are.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I
some might
mean?
call that just like in-person shyness, but baby, that was a
I mean, I
360.
can understand that. Like, I can understand someone being really shy or like, oh my God, like, I mean, I've been intimidated by a man
Mm-hmm.
where he totally threw me off my game, where I was
Right.
like, you know, whatever. And then it
Yeah.
was like,
Oh,
oh my God,
I
I
was
don't,
not expecting
oh my
that.
God, what is happening?
I'm
And
dead.
like, I was totally off. Like, I was just like, I didn't know, I was just shy. Like,
Mm-hmm,
I became
mm-hmm.
this little shy puss and like wanted to just run home because I was like, this man is too much for me. And like, am I like, and I started doubting who I was,
True, true,
right?
true.
So like, I could understand that because I've been in that situation,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand like being shy, maybe I was like intimidating. So I'll give you a second chance, right? I'm a Virgo, so I believe in second chances,
Okay.
and then I also believe in like three, four, five, 10 chances too. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
We love that growth.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, so um, yeah, you got to get over it. The second time you still shy, baby, it ain't gonna
I'm
work.
like, what you shy about? You already met me once.
It ain't gonna work. Right. So, what's the weirdest online dating experience you've ever had?
Um, One time I linked up with this dude, and on his profile he said he was like 6'3". Mans was like barely 5'7". I'm 5'7", you guys. I'm 5'7", and I feel like the reason why whenever I tell people that I'm 5'7", then they see me, they're like, "You're so big, like you're so tall." I'll be like, maybe because all these dudes are lying about their height. Like this is a real 5'7". Like this
What
is
are
five
they?
foot.
Where did the 6'3" come from?
Girl, his imagination. 'Cause I
Oh my
don't
God.
know. I was like, where like you couldn't even put on some heels or something to make it
Oh my God, the botas. Put the botas on or something.
exactly like no. That and then same guy, right? We went to go eat and the restaurant we went to go eat at like closed, so he couldn't use the restroom. So this man goes like behind a dumpster in some random park and pees, and then he tries to hold my hand afterwards, and I'm like,
No,
no,
sir.
you're not holding my
No,
hand after you just fucking
sir.
touched your dick raw. And
No, sir.
like no, that was probably my weirdest one. And I had this other one where he was like, a huevo quería, like he wanted me to pull up to his place and drive us to the restaurant, and I was like, why can't I just meet you there? It's like 5 minutes from your apartment. I don't see the point.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, because you're just gonna leave afterwards and you're not gonna want to talk to me. I was like, but we're
Okay, crazy stalker?
I
Like,
was like,
what?
okay, I'm not getting in that car with you, so forget about it.
I'm not going anywhere with you, sir.
Exactly. I was like, these are giving you trying to kidnap me vibes. So
Yeah,
those were
agreed.
probably my two biggest weirdest situations.
Agreed, agreed.
What are yours?
Oh, I have like the most like disappointing. I have not most disappointing, but I have a disappointing one. I went on a date with this guy, the same guy that I told you that was like talking all this talk, and then all of a sudden we meet up, and
And he's like,
and um, so we went on a date, and you know me, Emily. There better be food involved. There better be food involved. If you
tacos.
are taking me anywhere, you want me to go anywhere with you, if you're kidnapping me, there better be food involved. Otherwise, I'm gonna have a bitch fucking fit.
That she's very honest. She's very true.
And so I just thought it was like very transparent about that, and I feel like I feel like I'm very easy to read.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, long story short, we go on our date and we went to watch a movie, and then that was it.
No food.
No food. I don't like a man who doesn't have a plan. I can't handle a man without a plan. If you don't have a plan, you do not have access to me. It's just ladies. If you are talking to a man and he does not have a plan, let it go.
Let it
Because
go.
if he doesn't have a plan, a simple plan on a date, then he doesn't have a plan for his life.
And that is so honest because okay, so like I try to match energy and try and be like, okay, if he's gonna be chill about it, I'm gonna be chill about it. Like, let me not, because I used to be the type to be like, where are we going? Where are you taking me?
Yeah.
What time? Where we meeting at? How far is it? Like that used to be me, and I
Yeah.
always felt like I put in. It wasn't necessarily that like I was putting more effort in because I care more. It's just because I'm that type of person. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if we're gonna plan something, I need to know the plan. Cause then what the fuck are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
But I learned to just match the energy, and if they want to be blase about it, then so can I. And it's like there's been times where I really have been on dates where I've been like, damn, I could have just been at home like smoking a blunt or something.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck do you have? Oh my god, wait. Worst date that I've been on? Let's talk about the date I had like 2 weeks ago or something. This man,
Oh my
did I tell you
God.
about it?
I don't know. I
The
don't
one at
think
the
so.
park,
Oh
remember?
my God, is this an exclusive?
So this man, he lives like all the way in fucking like Saginaw, Fort Worth. Like he lives far. So he drove out like 40 minutes out to come and see me, right? And me and him have been like trying to link up for a minute. We had like flaked on each other 2 or 3 times already. And he's finally like, let's just do it. Fuck it. And he said like, let's just get coffee and like chill. And I was like, okay, coffee and chill. Like I can do that. They have like pastries and stuff at places. Why did this man get me at Dutch Bros, and then he took me to the fucking park by my house and had me walk like a mile, and then before
He
he
said, I don't even go to Fitness Connection.
I don't even go to the gym anymore, you guys. The most walking I do is like from my computer to the printer at my office, like back and forth. And this man had me walking the entire fucking. And then before that, this man had the audacity to try and make out with me in his car, and I was like, "You are almost 30 years old. Get me the fuck out of this car." And let's no.
Stop.
That
Oh my
that
God.
was the worst day I've ever had. And that tells you, if he doesn't have a plan, don't fucking do it because it's not worth it. Like,
No.
what he's gonna do, he's gonna make you walk a mile with a coffee, and you're gonna shit yourself when you get home. Cause That's literally what fucking happened to me. And girl, I literally was the entire time I was like, what am I doing?
You know, that's probably the worst when you're like, and he gave you the ick.
He did. He gave me the ick so bad. Also,
When you're with somebody in that moment and you experience the ick, that's probably
the worst.
worst
Because
experience.
all you want to
to
do
have.
is leave, but like you don't know how to. I didn't know how to go about it because we were in his car, so I wasn't. I couldn't be
See,
like, drop me off.
Okay. On first dates, do you allow them to come pick you up or do you meet them?
I don't do that anymore because I've had experiences where they're like, I have your address, I'll pull up if you don't answer. So I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Until like at least the second or third date. But yeah, I will always meet up with them or try to meet up with them on the first date. And if they're so adamant about it, I'll be like, it's not worth it, bro. Like, just drop it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree because like, I think I've only let two guys pick me up from my apartment. And the first guy I had met out and about, and I really liked his vibe. He was like really really cool. He was totally my type, and he asked me out on a date, but he asked me out in such a way of like, oh, this is a man.
Oh, okay,
Like, this is a man, you
You're
know?
like,
And he was like, would you prefer me to pick you up or would you like to meet me? And I really enjoyed it. It was really refreshing. And so I was like, you can pick me up. And I was like, oh my God, am I gonna
let him pick me up?
Pick me up? Somebody I don't know, never met. Well, I met him. I met him actually out one night. We were in Fort Worth and we were bar hopping and stuff.
I'm done with Fort Worth, guys. You guys, I can't do those anymore. No more.
We'll get into that. We'll get into it. And so yeah, he picked me up and he was like, you know, I don't remember what how the conversation happened, but I think he asked me like, why were you so comfortable with me picking you up? And I was just like,
you just exuded like,
yeah, I was like
manliness.
And I was like, because you made me feel comfortable and we had a really good conversation. And I will say that experience really like gave me growth on men.
Okay.
And so
I know exactly who we're talking about. And yes.
Yeah, like definitely gave me a lot of growth on men and how to go about it and what to do and what not to do. So shout out to him because you helped your girl out.
Lessons were learned.
Lessons were learned. Tears were falling. But
me too with that Fort Worth man. That's why I don't do those anymore.
But yeah, and then I let I've let another gentleman pick me up, and I continued to let him pick me up. So, you know,
sometimes you just get that vibe like, okay, this is somebody I can trust, like somebody I'm not feeling like he's gonna do nothing weird and sus with.
Yeah.
Other times you're just like, nah, which is understandable. Like, I don't understand why they would trip.
Right.
If they trip, they're weird.
Super weird. Like, because why wouldn't you respect that I don't want you to know where I live?
Exactly.
For safety purposes.
That and like, boy, I'm saving you gas
we in
money.
Texas, we gon' show up. I dare you. But that's why I don't like a lot of people to know where I live, because this is like my peace, right? Like, your home is your sanctuary, and the last thing you want to do is be looking over your shoulder of like, is he gonna like pull up? Is he watching
pull up on me?
You know what I mean? Like, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Like I said, I've had dudes be like, I know where you live, I have your address before, that I have like ghosted or like left alone.
Yeah.
And those were like scary experiences, and because I like live with my parents, and you know, my parents live there, my brother still lives there, and obviously like besides me, like I don't want anybody to go into harm because of me.
Right.
And so
I
just don't do that anymore.
Definitely understandable and agreed. What are some small but meaningful ways to increase intimacy in a relationship?
I think, like me personally, I'm a really affectionate person. So I'm always touching them, being like, you're so cute, you're so handsome, all this and that. And I like doing little things, like maybe being like, hey, you want to eat, what you trying to eat, just being like, what, how's your day
Catering.
been? I'm a very much a caterer because I'm not a vocal. I'm not like, I love you. Like, that's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
But I think,
Your
my
affirmations are like physical touch and acts of
acts of
service.
service for sure. I think those are the way I try to be more intimate with my person. I also just try to listen. I feel like people don't really listen anymore. They just like to talk, but they don't really like to listen.
Yeah, they gotta learn that active listening for sure.
Hmm.
Do you like to cuddle?
Yes, I like to cuddle, but not to go to sleep. Only like if we're watching a movie or
Girl,
something. I can't cuddle going to bed.
girl.
It feels like I'm being suffocated, and I move a
Ugh,
lot.
I'm claustrophobic.
Uh huh.
Okay, the last thing I want you to do is like
I
put
don't.
your leg on me, wrap yourself around me, or anything like that. I am like, please don't.
Not while I'm sleeping because I sweat a lot. Also,
I can handle a little bit of it. I can handle a little bit of cuddling,
maybe like
but
playing footsies in bed is cool, but
that's
like,
fine.
don't. I don't need you on me.
I'm okay with like me laying on the chest
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
I feel free, like I can move away at
Okay,
whenever time, whatever.
but like no little spoon, big
But
spoon type
like
shit.
if they want to like cuddle me and like watch a movie or cuddle me at night,
Hmm.
I can't do I don't fuck with body heat. I don't fuck with the body
And
heat.
dudes are like furnaces.
Oh my god.
Furnaces.
Like I can't fuck with the body heat, and I mean, let's just keep it real. This ass, I'm not. Don't wake me up. When I'm tired, don't wake me up.
Nah. She's also a deep sleeper, so
I'm
like
such a
you
deep
really have to put in
sleeper.
the effort to wake her up. And
I'm
that's how you know
such
you
a
went
deep.
out of your way to like bother her. Like just don't bother her.
Yeah, and like especially like if it's, I don't know. I feel like especially if I'm super tired.
Hmm.
Like, are you trying to die?
Did I?
I'm so fucking tired. Like,
What's like the only reason you would like forgive somebody for waking you up?
if they woke me up giving me head.
Oh, period. Or tacos.
Or tacos! Or tacos.
Head or
Or,
tacos, you guys. Head or tacos.
yeah, and if you hand it to me at the same time,
Period. Even better.
all is forgiven, baby. All is
Oh, you're
forgiven.
so funny.
All is
Have you
forgiven.
been woken up like that before?
And not with the tacos, but
With
yes.
the other one? Cheers.
Cheers.
Part 2. Part 147 of Who the Fuck Down. I always think about that.
Oh, who the fuck did I marry?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, have you seen that on TikTok?
No.
Dude, it's a series. Like this lady, she made like a 40-part series of talk like exposing like how her man was a fraud.
Are you serious?
I'm gonna have to find it and send
Oh
it to
my
you.
god, send it to
Girl,
me.
this was like, I don't know.
That's so crazy. All right, so my next question, since we're getting into sex,
Ooh.
what does sexual compatibility mean to you?
Okay, so this might be controversial, but I feel like people always want to be like physical attraction doesn't matter in a relationship. And to me personally, and how I've heard other people talk and like whenever they bring up these kind of issues, like it really does matter. Like it's important for you to be attracted physically to your partner. So I think off the bat, sexual attraction should be like when you see them. Imagine you're walking past them. Would you do a double take? Would you be like, damn, who's that fine ass papa over there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you don't, then like maybe girl, like,
Get up.
like you think guys give good girls chances because they're cute? Like no. Like why would you give a good guy a chance just because he's a good guy? If you don't want to feel like, damn, let me take them draws off, he's not the one for you, Pooks. Like just
Yeah.
let that man go.
Do you feel like, say you meet a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, his personality is there,
Mm-hmm.
the the vibe is there.
Mm-hmm.
He's attractive, but not completely like, oh
He's
my
not
God.
like conventionally
He's
attractive.
like average, right?
Okay.
But his personality is just like, fuck. Like,
Okay.
we have good banter.
Mm-hmm.
We like have similar interests. Like, we just like fuck with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Could you be sexually attracted to somebody like that?
100%. This is gonna be so fucked up, but like I've liked ugly guys. like ugly guys. Like, sometimes that personality would just take the cake. You know what I'm saying?
Girl, yes.
Yeah. Okay. However, I do have like certain things where I'm like, I will not negotiate on this. Like, usually for me, one of those is height because I'm so tall.
Yeah.
I'm not like the tallest bitch in the world. I'm like not 5'4" fum. You know what I'm saying?
But you want to be tall.
But I'm tall already, and like
Then pictures need to hit, baby. And I don't want to be on the top of the spectrum, and you.
I don't want to have to wear flats for the rest of my life. You know what I'm
short
saying?
King, is what you're
Exactly.
saying. Yeah, you don't want a short king.
Short king. Shouts out to you, Pocket Man, because y'all have the face card never declines, but I just can't with the height, bro. That's one thing for me. I will say about like sexual attraction. I will always be more attracted to a taller man than a shorter man, even if I fuck with the personality of the short man more.
Really?
Yeah, and I feel like that's so like, what's the word? Superficial of me, but I just refuse to have midget children. Like,
hey, listen, if you have standards and like that's what you're if that's what you don't want to settle on, don't settle on it.
Exactly.
I've thought about it, like I've asked myself, could I be with a short king? Because I'm short, I'm only 5'2", so there's room for the shorties. And
I feel like you have more wiggle room to talk to different heights, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because even if I wore my heels that I have, they're still going to be semi-taller than me, unless they're like my height, which I don't know if I could do my height,
How are you, 5'2" again?
I'm 5'2".
Hell no, I would never let you talk to somebody who's 5'2". I would be like, Lauren, I'm taller than this man. I can see his receding hairline from up here, and it's a no-go, baby. Like,
I mean, I've thought about it. Maybe I could fuck with like a 5'6". Right?
Okay, I feel like
that's a pretty good gap.
Yeah, because you're 5'2". Like, you are pretty short, yeah.
Yeah, but I love me a tall man.
We just like something to climb, you know what I'm saying?
Climb that tree.
I'm trying to climb that tree.
Because you know what? Women love challenges just as much as men love challenges.
Exactly. That is so true. Valid as fuck. I feel like we're just not as like in your face about it. We're very like calculated.
Yes. And I just feel like the right formula of challenge between the opposite sex is so dangerous.
So what are like what would you configure as this is my sexual attraction? Like, this will just get me going and running.
He can stimulate my mind.
Okay. You have always said that.
Yeah, if he can stimulate my mind, because like, you don't have to be the hottest man on the block. If you are, that's great. But like, if you can speak to me in a way that it just like resonates, and I just like nobody's ever spoken to me that way, or like teach me something that I don't know or that I would be into. Oh my god.
Because Lauren really is like that type of person. She's a jack of all trades. Like, and if she feels like she doesn't know something, she will teach it to herself. My god. So I feel like that's why you say that, because you're very hyper independent, and I feel like that also plays into the fact that you don't want to be the planner anymore, the take care of her. You want somebody to take care of you.
I want somebody to be like 10 steps ahead of me.
Exactly.
And, like, no.
Like, I got it. It's covered.
You're good. Like, just be ready. I got everything taken care of. But I also like taking care of the person that I really enjoy being with. That I do really enjoy.
And I feel like that comes to women a lot more natural whenever they feel like they're being taken care of.
Yes, because then it's like that's the way we show our appreciation.
Exactly.
Of like, you are valued, you are
seen,
you're
being heard,
you are appreciated, and like, I want to appreciate you. Like, you don't do nothing, baby. I will do everything.
I will make you that place. Okay, like, sit your ass there.
Yeah, you be ready at 8, bitch. I'm gonna come pick you up.
I'm gonna take your ass on this thing. And we're not splitting this check because we're going home together.
I know, that's right. Would you, if you were with somebody that you enjoy, y'all went on dates, and he always paid for the date, would you pay for a date?
Yeah, I've done that before. There was this one guy I used to talk to like a while back. I think it was like fresh out of high school, maybe when I was 20 or something. And I had a crush on him when I was in high school. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm living my dream right now. I fumbled the bag, you guys.
Oh, I remember
You remember
that.
that? Well,
Yes.
there's this one spot. He had already taken me out before. And I'm very much the type of person that I feel like I will do stuff so I don't feel like I owe them. And I
Yeah.
feel like in that moment, it wasn't really necessarily that. But I felt like, hey, you know what? You got me. I got you type shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like sometimes,
Did you feel like it demasculated him?
no. He was a very secure person. Like he was a very secure man in himself. I think he was one of the most like what's the word I'm looking for? He was just very like with the times. Very much like
He was with the shits.
yeah. He was never like, oh no, I got it. It's good. Like I got money. I was like, no, it wasn't like that. He was very like, oh, you got it? Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Like, I got you next time type shit. And I was like, period.
Yeah.
I don't understand why men would be emasculated by that. Like, bitch, it's a free meal.
Because
Just
I
take
feel
it.
okay, so I feel like some and I can kind of understand this
Mm-hmm.
because in my age group, um, I feel like we come with a certain like not like how should I say this? We come with a certain like we want things this way,
Okay.
like a certain standard.
Okay. Okay.
Now, I feel like some men are raised to always take care of the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Never let a woman pay for anything. You always be the gentleman. You always pay. You never let her use her money because if that's your woman, or even if this is the woman, the a lady that you're taking out on a date or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you just never let her do that because, like, why would you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I've actually gone out with men like that, where I wasn't even with these. So I met up with my friend one time, and she was with the guy that she was seeing, and he was there with a friend, and she was like, "Come meet us up." Da, da, da. We're at where were we at? I think it was Gloria's in Addison or something like that.
Mm.
So and it was like Latin night, so it was gonna turn into a club, and so I was like, okay, cool. So I met up with them and they paid for everything. And I was not expecting it because I just wasn't expecting it. I'll never expect men that I'm not there with to pay for me,
Right.
right? So I was expecting my own check, and he was like, "Don't you, don't you,
Don't disrespect me like that. Don't you
don't
ever.
you put that away?" He's like, "Put that." I was like,
I've
"I'm
never
sorry,"
had that happen.
and I was like, "What?" And he was like, So I didn't even know him. I didn't even know none of them except for my friend. And I was just like, and I was not expecting that. And maybe that's just something that, maybe my standards were just not high enough for
Mm-hmm.
that at that particular time. But I was just like, I
You
mean,
were pleasantly surprised.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I was there on my own,
Mm-hmm.
and I am totally fine with paying for my own stuff. I would never expect a gentleman to pay for my stuff. I'm not even there with you. Like, you owe me nothing.
Type shit.
But they were like, no, this is how we were raised. And like, I went to the bar, and like they were right behind me, and they were just like, absolutely not. Put it on my tab. And I was just like, no, it's fine. They were like, no, put it on my tab. And I was like, all my drinks on his tab.
You ain't gotta tell
All
me
my drinks
twice.
on his tab.
You heard him.
I'm not about to
I've
fight
just
this
had
man.
experiences, and I'll tie this back to me being like, I feel I will usually always try and even out the score, if that makes sense. Being like, well, you got me for this, let me get you for this type
Hmm.
shit. Because I've had instances where they will throw that shit in my face, where they're like,
But see that okay, so if
"Da-da-da-da-da-da."
that happens, those are boys still trying to figure out who they are.
They're manipulators. Because, bitch, why the fuck would you do that if you know you're broke?
Exactly.
Like, I would never do that.
Yes. And if you're going out with a young woman or a woman or whatever, you should have every intention of paying for her.
Period.
And you should never expect her to pay for you or pay for herself if you've invited her on a date. Like when I invite a guy out, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but when I invite a guy out on a date, like, oh my god, I think we should,
Hang
like,
out.
hey, you want to go have sushi? Or hey, do you want
Mm-hmm.
to go wherever? I have every intention of paying
Wow.
because I'm asking you out.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm asking, like, I don't know what your financial situation is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you may not even say anything. You may not even talk about it. You may take me on great dates, but I'll never assume that you have all the money in the world to,
And then this
whatever.
economy is so real.
Girl. But so
Yeah.
yeah, I have every intention. If I'm asking you, like, hey, let's go do this, like, it's on me. But now, if they beat me to the punch, I
And that's
mean,
fine.
baby, I'm not gonna argue with you.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna argue with you.
I'm very obedient.
Okay, like, I'll pay for the dessert. I'll
Period.
be the dessert.
Right, balance, balance. I'll pay for the Star Beast.
Yeah. Like, do you wanna go get ice cream?
Some frozen yogurt.
Let me go fuck up my stomach.
Are you like a savory or sweet dessert type person?
Mm. I'm not a super big on sweets. Like, I have to be in the mood for sweets. Like when we ate those fucking pumpkin
I
cookies.
fucking knew you were gonna say that. I was like, those cookies, those
Bitch,
cookies.
I have them on the counter.
Still?
No, I got
You bought
some
some
more.
more?
They were so good.
We got these pumpkin cookies from Aldi, you guys. Aldi's. Shouts out to you, Pookie. Also, can we talk about the discrimination though? Because I've seen Aldi's in like Europe and fucking Australia. Those bitches are like the size of Walmart. And I'm
Are
like,
they really?
dude, yeah, because they're like European. All these are
Yeah.
European. But I'm like,
It's like a European.
didn't I
version.
tell you that like the one in Australia, the Aldi's, they were dropping like a reform machine, like for Pilates.
Yes.
And dude, I was like,
saw that.
literally, I tried to go to Aldi's here, and they were like, "Bitch, are you dumb? Like, we don't have that here." And I was like, "Oh."
They didn't. Oh, they didn't bring that in the U.S.
Mm-mm.
I did see that where they were like tackling each other.
Yes.
Like it was Black Friday
Yes.
on right after Thanksgiving. That's what it
That's
looked
crazy.
like at
Oh.
Aldi's. But
I'm missing
I
out.
fuck with Aldi's. Aldi's have this like a really good.
Yeah. Honestly, now that I'm older and like I pay for my grocery stuff, and now like Aldi's is where it's at.
I love a good Aldi's savings. So, what's your take on the idea of a soulmate sex?
Soulmate sex.
Yeah.
I think it's like whenever you and that person understand each other's body, but don't necessarily understand each other.
Uh-huh.
So I've had situations like that where like the chemistry
Was there?
like como una estrella fugaz, like fuck, it was like shooting star. I was like, damn, you rock my world type shit. You know what I'm saying? But then like once all that like comes down, you're kind of sitting there like, but do I fuck with you like as a person?
It's
Not
like
really.
you come down from that high,
Mhm.
and then you're just like, oh fuck,
Like when
back
now.
to reality.
Yeah. It's like great if you're just trying to be there for the physicality, like for the sex, then yeah, like soul sex mates, very much a thing. Like some people will just understand your body. You don't even have to explain it to them. They just know what the fuck they're doing.
Do you think? Do you think guys that know what the fuck they're doing just like have all the experience, or do you think it's just something natural that comes to them?
They're definitely hoes. It comes with the
You
experience.
think they're fuckboys?
Yes, 100%. Because it's a trial and error thing. Like they
Yeah.
probably have been with a lot of different type of people to understand that like different bodies have different catering to.
Yeah.
And maybe it's like a like a shot in the dark type shit. You know, like I'm not saying that all these men that are like great and better hoes, but if the shoe fits, wear it type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like 9 times out of 10, they are hoes.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I just. I mean, I've had a fuck buddy, you know what I mean, and it was cool. Like, we were just like so compatible in that area, and I wouldn't say we were like soulmate sex, but you know what? We had some really good deep conversations, but
Do you think you have to have like you have to fuck with that person in order to fuck that person and enjoy it? You think so? Because you know how some people can't really get into it, like can't get into sex unless they feel comfortable with that person.
Okay, so I read this book by it's called Dear Lover. It's by David. Crap, I can't remember his last name.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me Google it. Just in case like somebody wants to read it because it's actually a really good book by David Dieta.
Okay.
It's called Dear Lover, A Woman's Guide to Men, Sex, and Love's Deepest Bliss.
Oh, wow.
It's a really good book. I read it. It was recommended, and I'll say that what it taught me is when you are, so I look at sex very differently, right? I can't have casual sex with somebody. I have to really have a connection with them
Mm-hmm.
because having sex with somebody, I'm exchanging energies, and some people can be like, "Oh my god, that's so fucking stupid," whatever. Well, that's your path and that's your journey.
Mm-hmm.
You probably can have casual sex and it mean nothing to you, but to me, I am literally giving you a piece of my energy, a piece of who I am, my happiness, and it's almost like when somebody trauma dumps on you, or
Okay.
someone tries to tell you all their bad day, and you could be in a really great mood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, your friend calls you and they're like, "I had the shittiest day," and da, 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 and it's like almost brings you down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you take on that energy.
Fair, because okay, look, I feel like this generation has tried to make casual sex and casual dating such a normal thing when it's not, because like you're literally putting your dick in me,
Yeah.
and you're like I'm putting my pussy on you or whatever, but it's like that's not something casual. Like as a
No.
woman, like
But there are some people that are okay with that, and that's fine.
that's just fine.
That is totally fine. However you use sex and however because a lot of people are like, it's just sex, and that's totally like if that is your vibe, cool. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? But for me and my pussy,
No.
like it's just I really have to know you in a
Mm-hmm.
sense of like I can take on some of your energy
Okay.
because I'm reciprocating your energy too. So if you are miserable or you know what I mean, like you're just using me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take on your anxiety. I'm gonna take on all of that too. And
True.
and and some people don't even realize that. You know what I mean? That they're fucking people that are probably miserable in their life, or they're fucking people that are unsure of who they are, and they're
Mm-hmm.
taking that on. And then now
They're like, what's up with my
you have to,
vibe?
yeah, you have to have a really strong spirit, and then you're over here like doing ojo on you and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Girl, tell me why somebody at work today. Where like we were talking about this girl I used to work with and stuff, and then a whole bunch of stuff happened. And it's like so crazy how big and little the world is. Like this new guy I'm working with, he lives all the way in Fort Worth, and like somebody from my high school, my circle, used to mess around with one of his friends in his circle, and he was just like, yeah, that bitch was crazy. She did wucheri on my dude, and like on his homeboy, and he's like, that's why like I don't even like no la quiero embucar. Like he's like, I'm not trying to like what's the word? He's like, I'm not trying to manifest her back into my life or nothing because she was crazy. And I was like, witchcraft on a man? Never in my life.
You know, I dated somebody who did that.
What? That is
Yes.
so insane.
Yes. I found it in his pantry. And I was like, "Hey, what?" It was like a candle or it was like some type of liquid with
Uh-huh.
like a skeleton on it, and I was like cooking dinner. Like we were in a full-on relationship,
Oh
right?
snap.
And I was cooking dinner. I was about to cook dinner, and I was like went into his pantry and it was like shoved in like a corner, and I was like, "Hey," and I grabbed it. I go, "What is this?" Because I was so like stupid. Like I did not know
Nothing.
anything about that. That was like I knew about it, but I didn't like never seen it before.
Yeah,
You know what
like
I
you
mean?
like don't really like.
Like I just never like encountered somebody who actually did it or
Mm-hmm.
had it with them. And when I tell you this man turned pale like a ghost, he was like, "Don't touch that!" Like terrified. And I was like, "What?" He ran into that kitchen so fucking quick and was like, "Don't fucking touch that," and grabbed it out of my hand and put it exactly where it
What was
was.
that?
And I go, "What is that?" And he was all like, "None of your business. Just, you know what, let's go eat." And
Oh,
I was like, I'm a, we women, I'm gonna find out what the fuck that
not for
is.
real.
So what happened that night when we got back? I took a picture of it. I took a picture of that shit and I sent it to my homegirl. I was like, "Hey," I was like, "Do you still have that friend that knows how to do, like, that knows about the witchcraft, like brujeria?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, and I broke it down to her, and she was like, "Send me the picture." So I sent it. She sent it to her,
Yeah, yeah.
and she said, "Bitch, get the fuck out of there." Oh
No.
my, bitch.
Was it like for you?
So I didn't know, right?
Mm-mm.
And so it was basically like a spell. It was like basically a spell to keep somebody with you,
Oh.
right? Like they say that you put it in their food. You put it in their food and it like keeps them in love with you. It's like a
Oh.
love spell. Like they stay in love with you and they
Not the
stay.
pubes. Girl, you know that Midsommar movie where she puts a pube in his food? Like that.
What is it?
Midsommar with I don't know her name. I'm gonna be like, you know that girl from the movie? It's a
Is it an old movie?
no, it's like that. It's that one film movie company called 27A, and it's like a girl goes to, I don't know, like Switzerland or something with her man and all his little friends because they're gonna write a essay. It's like their final essay for college.
Uh-huh.
And so they're gonna do it on like weird tribes or whatever. And so it's like a whole bunch of white people, and they're like basically in a cult, and all the people she goes with, they die except her, and they like brand her like the new queen or whatever of their little clan.
What?
You've never seen it?
No, maybe I have. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna try and look it.
That shit sounds
Let me try and look
crazy.
it up.
That shit sounds like a good time to watch.
You, yeah, I feel like you would really like it.
So, sorry guys, I'm just getting comfortable because I'm
Like
at
this
home.
one. Like this one. That's that girl. I don't know her name. She's really famous. I thought she was lesbian, but she's not. I thought she was gay.
Oh shit, I don't know if I've ever seen
You
this.
never, girl. You have to watch it.
I'm gonna have to watch that
It's so
movie.
good.
Moving on.
Moving on.
So, in my friend group, I would say you are the queen of ghosting.
Oh,
I feel
period.
like I feel like you have earned that title of Queen of Ghosting. And because we've had this conversation multiple times, like I don't get it. Like I don't know if I could do that. You know what I mean? And you're just like, you know,
Blocking out the haters.
exactly. So why do you think ghosting has become so common?
Because sometimes it's not even worth it. Like being like, I just don't fuck with you. I feel like my body language and the way we're interacting should speak for itself and let you know like leave me the fuck alone type shit or just
Yeah.
drop it. And honestly, like I'm low-key of a people pleaser. So
Yeah.
I've always had a hard time walking away from things. And I think this is my way of walking away. 'Cause if I have to confront it and have like a conversation with it, I feel like it just goes downhill for me. I'd rather just like avoid it and be like, never mind.
Yeah.
So me ghosting you is like for my sake, not for your sake type. Like I do it for me, not for them. And I know
What
that's fucked up, but
what is something that is going to make you ghost them?
I think all the wishy-washiness, being like, I want to do this, but never planning it, because you could just shut the fuck up. For me, it's
Period.
like, here's an example, right? Like, I will always respect a man more if he just like stays quiet and doesn't overplay his card than a man who tries to overplay his card and disappoints me. Because you promised me something when you could have just not and
Mm-hmm.
like been honest and been like, you know what, I can't give you this right now or whatever. And then like versus being like, oh, I was gonna buy you some flowers, but I didn't. Now I
Yeah.
fucking hate you more.
Like, why did you even tell
I didn't
me?
even have to know that. Like
Like,
you
you
could have
could have
just shut
just
the
been like,
fuck
"I'm
up.
so happy to see you." Do you think that happens because they just get nervous and they don't like, when somebody just talks and
Hmm.
they talk themselves into a hole
Uh-huh.
because they're like nervous and they're just like don't know what else to say.
I truly, genuinely don't think they understand how disappointing it is to hear that. Imagine me being like, babe, I was gonna buy you the fucking PS5. Was. Exactly. And then they're like, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, how did
You
that
could have
hurt?
just kept that shit to
Like,
yourself.
I was gonna buy you like the fucking Final Fantasy 4 or something. Like, I don't even know what that is, but
Yeah.
like,
You could have
like
just.
no, it's so disappointing. But honestly, yeah, I also feel like, look, growth. I've been more honest these couple of like last times that I've left situationships and been like, I just don't think this is gonna. I didn't say it like that. It was a lot more like fuck you, bitch. You know, but like, at least now I'm trying to communicate about it. But sometimes ghosting, I don't feel like it's fucked up whenever the situationship was only like a week or two. Like, I don't really owe you that respect.
Mm-hmm.
In my book, take it or leave it. I don't care.
All right. That's crazy. All right. So, um, have you ever been ghosted and how did you handle it?
Oh, I've been ghosted hella. That's also why I don't feel bad whenever I ghost dudes. How did I feel about it? I mean, you really can't do anything but like keep it a buck and keep it pushing. Like,
Yeah.
there's been times where I've been really disappointed. I'm like, damn, I was really feeling you, shorty.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a thousand fucking fish in the sea. So if you don't want to fuck with me, that's not the end of the world. Like, I think the way I handle is just like I literally just move on. I try not to dwell on it. I feel like if I'm dwelling on it longer than a day or two, then I gotta retouch and be like, why did this person get me so fucked up? I can't get over it.
Yeah.
And then I'll like inner monologue that hoe. But yeah, I just have to move on. I distract myself with other things.
Have you ever been ghosted by someone you really liked?
Yeah.
How did you feel?
Um, this was actually recent.
Really?
I don't think I told you about
Oh
this.
my
This was
god.
somebody I used to mess around with like in high school, and he's been looking good in these couple of days. I was like, "What's up with it?" You know. So I was like, I hit him up, and you know, I was like, "Let's make some shakes." So we kind of did, and then after that, he just stopped responding, and I was like, "Damn."
When that happened, did you like look at yourself and like question who you were or like not question who you were but like did I do something wrong?
Yeah, it always makes you feel like, oh, what did I do? Or like, was I not worth it? Or was I not enough type shit?
Mhm.
Um, but you really just can't get yourself into that headspace, or I try not to because I know that I did everything I could at the end of the
Yeah,
day to
yeah.
try and be as transparent and like there for that person.
Right.
And if they just didn't reciprocate it, then at the end, like I can't do anything about it. I can't force somebody to want to talk to me or to want to be with me.
Mhm.
So I just told myself, why would you be upset to leave or to be left by somebody who doesn't want you there? Like, I always tell myself that. I was like, why would I want to go back somewhere I'm not wanted?
Yeah.
And that's always what I tell myself, to remind myself, like, that's why you left, or that's why you made peace with that situation in the first place.
Yeah.
Because you don't got to tell me twice. I'll leave.
Yeah.
So
I think that that was something that I definitely had to learn the hard way. You never let a man tell you twice he don't
don't
want you.
ever let a man
Because
tell
I
you
feel
twice.
like if you allow a man to tell you more than once that you're not good enough and you know you're good enough for somebody,
Mm-hmm.
shit, you're good enough, period. And somebody's going
For
to
yourself.
come. Exactly. And somebody's gonna come along and is gonna appreciate that aura and that confidence that you are exuding. Some men, I feel like some men, when they come across women that are exuding confidence, I feel like they want to always humble them.
Okay, yes.
Like they want to humble them because it's like almost like they feel intimidated by it. So it's like, hold on, they're like almost feel threatened by our security and our, like what they call us, masculine women. But it's because we're masculine because we don't have a man, in a sense of like, not that we don't want a man, but we don't need a man. I feel like what Cher said, men are desserts.
Exactly.
Like they're privileges to have
Mm-hmm.
when you find a really good one, but like
You don't need
I
them.
don't need a man.
You really don't.
It's like a really nice shiny gift,
Mm-hmm.
and but it can be taken away or it can be lost in the abyss or whatever, you know what I mean? And so it's just like you appreciate them if they do you right, and when the insecure men find a woman who is so in her masculine but yet exuding confidence because she knows what she comes with, she knows she has boundaries, she has standards, and it's like I feel like they get intimidated by that and want to humble us.
I feel like 100% me and you have like that experience with dudes. I've been told before by dudes that I'm too straightforward, and I think part of that is because I'm not a good liar. So like, if I'm gonna say something, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be like, yeah, you're dumb or whatever. Or like that's stupid. I don't
Yeah.
know. So a lot of them will be like, you're just too blunt, like you're rude, and I'm like, no, that's not rude. I'm just telling you. Ask me a question, and I'm answering the
Yeah.
question. If you didn't want to hear my opinion or my answer,
Why did you ask?
why did you ask
If
it?
you know that I'm direct.
But
I feel like when if that when that happens, I feel like they want us to be like, no, baby, you are so amazing.
like they want us to play into that fantasy,
And it's like, no, do you want the fucking honest truth? Because I'm not gonna. If you're asking me like, how does this outfit look, and you want me to be like, oh, it looks so great, but you look like a fucking clown, bitch. You're not going out with me looking like a fucking clown.
exactly. That means I care about you.
Okay.
That means I care about
Like
you.
when I say I'd rather somebody tell me like, nah, bitch, take that shit off,
Mm-hmm.
or what the fuck did you do to your
Exactly.
eyeliner, or whatever the fuck. Why are your wings this way and
That's
this
a real
way?
ass friend, because you're not letting me walk out looking stupid.
Okay.
Like,
And it's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me that people will.
but people just don't know how to take honesty with a grain of salt anymore. Like,
Do you think they're sensitive?
yeah, I really do think like this generation might be sensitive in the way they're like, oh my god, that was so unnecessarily rude. I'm like, okay, whatever, bro. Like, whatever. You got it.
Like, don't play with me, ho. Play with your mama.
Exactly.
It's
Play
like,
with your pussy, because I mean, like,
okay,
the fuck?
shit. Like, just cut it out. Just cut it out.
Cut the cameras.
Exactly. All right. So, in this part of my podcast, I like to play a game.
Okay.
And I want to play a different game on every episode. But I want it to be fitting to my guests,
Okay,
right?
period.
So
I'm so honored.
so you are going to play my very first game,
Okay.
and it's called Text or Toss.
Text or toss.
Text or toss. So
Okay.
would you text them back,
Uh-huh.
text this person back,
Uh-huh.
or toss it? Okay? So
Okay.
basically, like, ghost them.
I got you.
So I'm gonna give you a couple scenarios, and you tell me text or toss.
I got you.
Okay. And if you text back, we'll take a drink.
Okay.
Okay, if that's your answer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Scenario 1.
Mm-mm.
It's 10 p.m. on a weekend. You get a message. What are you doing?
I'm texting back. On the weekend?
You're texting me at 10 p.m.?
On the weekend? What am I doing anyways? Like, I could get into something. We can make some shake.
Oh, we gonna make
The
some
badminton.
pull up, baby. We're gonna go take a walk with our Dutch
Get the
bros.
fuck out of my face. Don't piss me
With
off
our
with that
Dutch
shit.
bros. All right. I wouldn't text back.
You are such a liar, because you have.
But my standards are different. I mean, if it's just like somebody that's like I'm not like fucking with, like
Okay.
it's like here and there inconsistent,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not texting you back. Have a fucking plan.
Fair enough.
Have a fucking plan. But if you just we on some different shit, then what's up? Okay. Scenario number 2. Y'all match on an app,
Mm-hmm.
and been talking, and then he finally asks you out on a date, but he hits you with, what would you like to do? Are you texting or are you tossing it? after you ghosted it?
I'm gonna be so honest. I'm gonna text him back because I like a considerate man. Asking me like what I'm feeling like doing lets me know like he's taking me. Well, maybe I'm reading this wrong, but like I feel like it's him being like trying to be considerate. Be
Okay.
like, okay, I don't want to force you to do something you're not into. Like, let me just. If it's just to give ideas to brainstorm, for sure, I'm texting back. But if it's like he's trying to make me plan the day, I'm tossing that motherfucker out. Like,
Okay, but you have to answer.
yeah, I'm texting back.
Okay. And I'm
Be like, I'm trying to go eat some unlimited sushi. It's like,
sushi and a riverboat fried.
exactly. Take me to San Antonio.
Okay. Scenario. This is gonna be the last one. Okay.
Okay.
I actually forgot what I had wrote, so it's like we're both reading it together. All right. So last scenario. Um, you and this guy have been talking, and y'all finally
Link up.
link up.
Okay.
And do the do.
Do the do. Let's get it
Dick's
on.
the young girl.
Right. He break that bag.
But the dick is wet. And he texts you the next day. I had a great time.
I'm tossing that motherfucker. Bitch, I'm not even. I'm not. When I tell you, as soon as I get home, blocked.
You're putting the graveyard on his account.
Hell yeah, I'm deleting and blocking that hoe. I don't know you. I don't know
I
you.
don't know you or that dick.
Hell no. What? I added a body for this? Oh, I mean, when I would go home mad as hell, I'd be like, "Where's my fucking vibrator at?"
Bitch. Like, one way or another, I'm gonna get my nut.
Exactly.
One way or another, I'm gonna get
Hell no, I'm tossing that. I'd be like, no. I would leave him on red just so he would see, be like, disappointed.
So if he had a really great personality, y'all, but he just like,
I gotta toss it. I'm sorry. You think I'm gonna stick around for this?
do you think you could teach him?
Do I look like a teacher? Like, no, I went to school for business and management, not to teach. Fuck.
Oh my god.
I'm not doing that.
I love
Do you
that.
need me to teach you how to wipe your ass too? Like, no.
Sometimes they do need some fucking. That's why there's dude wipes extra big because they don't know how to.
Tell me why one time
Extra.
I was linking up with this dude and
Oh shit!
he brought his own fucking man wipes.
Did he really?
He brought those man wipes extra large. And I was like,
Okay, I got a confession. I have gone over to a guy's house before and I've taken my own wipes just because I don't know if they have them.
mhm.
And I personally love, wipes versus toilet paper.
Yeah.
And so I like to take my own wipes.
That's fair.
Do you think that maybe that's what he thought? Or maybe I'm giving him too much credit.
I think he was just a really clean dude. I feel like he was like that. He was very like, what if this bitch doesn't wipe with baby wipes?
Yeah, like because I just feel like, especially like if you're talking to somebody and like y'all are gonna
About to fuck,
yeah, like
yeah.
y'all do fuck on a regular.
Y'all better get freaky deaky.
Yeah, and like you take your own wipes because you already know you need to have it fresh and clean.
Exactly.
because-
I don't think. Listen, being a woman is like you need to go prepared type shit. So I'm tossing that bitch. I'm not gonna go through that headache.
Yeah.
When I've had good dick and a good personality,
He ghosted me, but I'm still
I still miss you, Cookie. I think about you every day.
Back to my baby.
Hell yeah, but nah, I'm tossing it. I'm sorry. I don't care how good the combo was. That bed after session's gonna leave me like this.
Disappointed.
I'm not even gonna
So,
remember that good ass combo because all I remember is that whack ass dick.
So what they say is true. You remember the bad stuff more than the good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's easier to dwell on the bad than the good
Yeah.
because like the bad stuff is usually big compared to it's always like, oh, it's the little wins, little keyword little.
He brought you flowers. He took you to sushi, and then he just laid the
Gave you
bed.
fucking bad dick.
Gave you bad day.
And that's all I remember. Cause bitch, I can go out and get myself some more sushi. I'm not gonna remember you. I don't need to remember you for that part.
Period.
But I'm gonna remember fucking that whack ass dick because it was you who gave it to me. Like,
I love that.
yeah.
Well, thank you for coming. I had such a good time. This was
Me
such a
too.
good conversation. I feel like this is like us on the norm.
Literally.
This is literally us on the
We
norm.
have these conversations at least once a week.
At least once a week.
Oh my god, you know what we should do next time? We should do like like this, but like while we're cooking, like one of our cooking days, and that would
We
be the bomb.com.
should. Oh
Because
my
we like get
gosh.
together and like decide like, oh my god, let's do this recipe.
Yeah.
And then we fucking execute that shit
Yeah.
like fucking.
Yeah, me and Emily have cooking dates where we pick a recipe that we find online, TikTok or some shit. We go to the store, we get the stuff, or like I get the stuff, she brings the stuff, her stuff, and then like we just like cook, and we just each of us like take different parts in the recipe, and then we eat it. But we're always super high, and it's so good.
So good.
So,
oh my god, you know I brought my dad back some Cubans from NOLA, and that reminded me of you. I should have brought you some.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm gonna do
Like a
that.
cigar?
Yeah. Because it had hella cigar shops on there.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, my dad, you know, he's been into smoking a lot lately. So I was like, let me get him some cigars. And then I remembered you.
Yeah.
And then I was like, damn,
Well,
I didn't
that's
get my
sweet.
girl Lauren nothing.
You know,
It's
I really
fucked
want
up.
to go to New Orleans.
Let's
Now,
go.
Now I really
Let's
want
go
to
to
New
NOLA,
Orleans.
baby. See some free old yitties.
I want to go do the witch tours.
We wanted to do that too, but we really didn't have time. So I feel like if we do go, we should like try and plan it for like
Yeah.
4 days or something.
We'll talk after, but we'll talk after about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so. But thank you for coming. This was so much fun.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and
I can't wait to do this again.
I know we are gonna do it again. Do it cooking, the cooking Lowe's Ratchet Kitchen.
Exactly.
I'll bring it back. I'll bring it back.
I'm bringing it back.
Lowe's Ratchet Kitchen. But that's our episode for today. Thank you for joining us on our first episode of Single on the Rocks. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to follow wherever you hear your podcasts. And until next time, I will see you guys on my next episode. Bye.
Bye. Period. Fucking kill that shit, bro.
That was so much fun. Let's not fucking smoke.